right, what's going on, RFBM family? Welcome back to my channel. This is episode 3 of the RFBM podcast, where we discuss financial things, investing, and entrepreneurship. And today we got, once again, a reoccurring guest, Driven for Greatness, my friend Steven. So he'll be able to explain once again what we're doing. And the topic that we're discussing today is health. And health is a big topic as it relates to your financial health as well. They go hand in hand. And Steve is definitely going to elaborate on that topic and give us more of an understanding of how your physical health is a big influence on your finances as well, and your just financial and overall well-being. So without further ado, Steve, you want to just go ahead and just get right to it.
Yes, sir. No, absolutely. Hey, what's going on, guys? Again, my name is Steven Souma, founder and CEO of Driven4Greatness Apparel. And yeah, definitely just want to elaborate today just on the correlation between health and wealth, and just how important it is just to make sure you're having your physical body right. Again, we're not talking about, being an elite level athlete. Just making sure you're keeping yourself in check. You're keeping your body in check, and you're keeping yourself healthy. So as you're creating your wealth throughout your process and your journey throughout life, you're actually able to enjoy it, and you're not spending all of your resources actually using that to take care of yourself, something that you could have took care of when you were younger in your teens or 20s. All right, but yeah, no, absolutely. So again, just making sure we're keeping our health in check. Definitely, I'm not a definitely just put that out there.
Disclaimer.
Full disclaimer. I'm not a nutritionist or a personal trainer. I'm just a guy that enjoys physical activity, physical fitness. Thoroughly enjoy it. I firmly believe it's definitely a part that helps save my life in certain situations and things that I've been through in life. Just kind of help me keeping me mentally focused, just by being physically strong enough to handle whatever it is that I'm going through in that present moment. So again, just getting yourself out there. Don't have to be anything crazy. Just getting out there working 3 to 4 times a week, whether it be walking around your neighborhood, just a start. You just want to look at things as a stepping stone. You don't have to jump full bore into going to the gym and, lifting like crazy, whatever the case is. It can start by just cutting out sugary drinks and just drinking water. That's a step in the right direction. Getting up in the morning and going for a walk. Waking up a half hour to an hour earlier than you normally wake up, and, just taking care of yourself and going for a walk around the neighborhood. Put your headphones in, listen to an audio book. Just do something different to break the normal routine that people typically go through, whether it be working at 9 to 5 or self-employed, being an entrepreneur, whatever the case is. Just make sure you take care of your physical self, because that's going to carry you throughout your life, and you want to create longevity. It's not just a short-term gain. Don't just focus on the money, but make sure you pour into yourself as well.
Right, and that's a misconception people normally don't get when it comes to dealing with finances. They think just because their finances are being taken care of and they're handling that they don't have to put as much effort to their physical being, and your physical being directly influences your decision making and Absolutely. Your overall lifestyle. And that's why I appreciate your brand as well, because one of the things I notice whenever I go on your social media pages, whenever you talk about Driven for Greatness, is that your physical well-being is a big aspect of the overall brand.
Absolutely.
And you want to go on to elaborate more about your brand as it relates to your physical being?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And again, being a former veteran, just being in the Army, that was one thing that they hammered home was physical fitness and just PT. And just making sure you take care of yourself. So, I truly believe, as you're, the more you work out, the more you take care of yourself. It's more like a release, a decompression. It allows you to think clearly. So not just, in your personal life, but as far as making business decisions. You never want to be emotional when you're involved in business by any means. Business is strictly logical, breaking down the numbers and making sure that it's going to work well for you and it's going to work well for your business, and it's going to continue to grow. So you can continue to make win-win situations, not just for yourself, but for your partnerships. So definitely, just making sure that you're, you're staying sharp, you're staying focused, physically, and that also translates to you being mentally sharp as well.
Definitely, most definitely. Yeah, so I definitely think that that's something that I wanted to touch on initially when I first made the first upload for YouTube, where I discussed RFBM and raising the financial bar, which also is the abbreviation for reps, flexibility, building, and max. And I just feel like I should have elaborated more on the physical aspect, simply because the logo of RFBM has basically an animated version of me, a cartoon version of me holding money bags with essentially a bar, and I'm holding up finances. But the whole reason why I got into that logo and that branding and why it looked the way it did is because finances is like health, and I feel like they tie hand in hand, and you want to make sure you're building that strength. You want to make sure you're building that core. What benefit is finances if you don't live long enough to enjoy them, or you don't live in a state of being where you're able to indulge and enjoy your life in totality? And
Right.
I feel like a lot of times we're doing things that are self-inflicted wounds. Even me personally, sometimes I'll do something where I'll eat something that I know is not necessarily good for me. And like I said, there's nobody's perfect. You want to indulge
not
in
at
some
all.
things that you like also, but you want to make sure that you're having a balance. And I'll know the difference sometimes when back before all of this economic collapse or COVID hysteria that's going on, just overall what's going on in society currently. Prior to that, whenever I played pickup basketball or any physical activity, I'd noticed the difference. I'm like, okay, I'm not the same. I'm running up the court, and
Yeah.
I'd rather play half court than full court right now because I'm feeling that stitch in my side. And of course, you're going to feel a little bit of fatigue when you're getting into sports, but the feeling I was feeling is being out of shape. And I know I could have worked on that more. It's like I need to get that cardio going. You want to
For sure.
if you lift weights, everyone doesn't lift weights, but you want to build a little strength. And if you're playing basketball, you're getting a little physical and you're banging up in the paint, especially. You want to make sure you have the strength or the physical well-being enough that you can hang in there, and you don't want to be winded 20 minutes in. And I noticed that happens sometimes when I haven't played basketball in a while, but
Right.
also because I'm not exercising. So,
Right.
you know.
And again, man, yeah, just going back to it, a lot of people don't feel comfortable in the gym. That's perfectly fine. Like, you don't need a gym. Like, use the earth as your gym. The earth is your gym. Just get outside and get active. You can, like I said, going for a walk, a run, a bike trail. You can buy a bike at Walmart for like $100. Take that, follow the trails around the town or whatever the case
Exactly.
is. Get a sweat in. Enjoy nature, the scenery. And again, it's just part of just decompressing and just evolving as a person. It's not gonna happen overnight. I know a lot of people get discouraged and stuff when they don't typically see results within like the first month or so. It's a journey. It's a process. It's an entire
Absolutely.
lifestyle change. This isn't something that you're doing. You're aiming for a few weeks, get in a certain shape, and then you stop. Like, this is for the rest of your life. So it's just something that you do like every day, like you would brushing your teeth or whatever the case is. You got to make working out that same habit, or just drinking water, or eating on a regular basis.
Right.
Like certain things that you do habitually, that you do in a normal routine, you need to make sure you incorporating fitness to a certain degree as well, included in your lifestyle and your daily routine.
And that's all about exactly what you just said. I was about to say, add on to that, having a routine. It shouldn't feel like a chore.
Absolutely.
It should be something that's in your everyday life. We talk about investing in entrepreneurship, and me and Steven discuss things personally when it relates to that, all kinds of topics. But a lot of things that people don't understand is the same effort you do to check the stock market or think of entrepreneurship concepts daily should be the same effort you put into your physical well-being. And I feel like this is not to attack anybody. This is something that is just something that you consider. And it's not like you don't have to be one of these health gurus that
No, not at all.
work out hours and hours at a time every day. But even
Don't have to look like an Instagram model.
yeah,
or
you
anything
don't have to look like that
Don't stress
either.
that.
And I feel like that's another thing
Don't
too.
stress it.
Don't compare yourself to anyone, and
Right.
don't try to attribute somebody else's success to going through a certain process that you're not familiar with. You don't have to lift the 50-pound weights like the guy that's going out there doing that every day, or bench press, or consume a certain amount of protein like these people to keep up with. That's their lifestyle. This is something where even 15-20 minutes a day, I promise you'll feel
Change
a
your
lot
life.
differently than how you're doing currently. You're not working out every day now, or you're not doing something regularly now. Even if you had a routine where you did something where you worked out 3 to 5 times a week, look at the difference there. Because of course you want to have some rest days, you want to have some times where you do less, but try to challenge yourself to work a little bit more, get a little bit more active, because this is something that should be ingrained in you as an everyday practice. Just like you wake up in the morning and go work your job, or you post on your business pages, or you check the stock market when the market opens in the morning. This should be the same process in the morning when you're getting out, working out. Go for a jog, do some sit-ups. There's different things, and there's different things you can research. Like I said, even Steven, he's a lot more active than I am, so he could definitely tell you some of the things that he gets into. But I just know from my personal experience, I feel a lot more better, and I feel a lot more productive, and actually have more energy, ironically, when I work out. And
gives you a more positive outlook too.
Yeah,
like more positive outlook, more positive mind frame, and at the same time too, like you accomplish something. So no matter like how bad your day was throughout the day, no matter what happened, you get a workout in, a solid workout, whatever the case may be, get a good sweat in, you got something done. You got a win for the day. You got better no matter what. No matter how small the workout was, whatever the case was, you still got better and progressed throughout the day. So that's still something that you can take with you throughout the next day. You still something that you're able to take with you throughout the next day and just keep it moving. Yeah, just everybody taking it, again, just as seriously as you would take you would take your finances. And just understanding too, like you got to treat food like you would treat medicine, because people talk about living to a certain age and whatnot, but what's your quality of life? Because if I'm living to 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, but I'm, surviving on, 10 different prescriptions per day just to keep me alive, that's not really living.
Absolutely.
I personally I know family members and stuff like that have to deal with that, and it's unfortunate. So, just doing anything in your power to be able to prevent that from happening, so you can actually live out the later years of your life, be able to spend time with your grandchildren, or, whatever, your significant other, or even if it's just you and you just want to travel the world and live a quality life. You're only going to go as far as you're able to carry your body. So, your mind, your soul, spirit, mental, everything has to be connected. Everything has to be aligned. And just going back to, food being medicine, it's absolutely true, man. You're able to eat the right foods. You're able to get a good balance of nutrition. That's really going to help, prevent a lot of ailments and, future diseases from coming in the future. And that's definitely something you want to, prevent from happening. That's just, it's less time that you have to spend, whether it be in the hospital, away from family, just being down, not being actually living your life. So just think about, when you're eating when you're eating good food, when you're working out, just think about like hedging against diseases, just like you invest in assets to be able to hedge against inflation. So just treat your fitness and treat your nutrition the same way. You're hedging against diseases, you're hedging against ailments for a better future, for a better outlook. Not only are you going to set the example, for your family, but for other, for kids out there that, want to see what the future is going to be like as they get older. They have somebody to look up to and, and share with, and be able to, progress as they get older. So it's definitely important to make sure that you're, it's all about consistency at the end of the day and staying disciplined.
Yeah, and I like that you said that, Steven, that the tail end, discipline. Discipline is discipline is such a loaded word, and somebody can be so disciplined in one aspect of their life and the latter a lot differently. I know you mentioned earlier, Steven, that you served, and I know that time and being timely and being ready and productive is a very key element of during your tenure. And I can tell that even prior to that, I can already tell that you were already very dedicated and very meticulous in the practices that you do and the nature in which you carry along your daily activities. And I just feel like when you're disciplined, it just sets you up for success more whereas somebody that normally doesn't have a set schedule or doesn't
just operating off a whim,
it's a chaos and being you. Why do you want to complicate your life more with the element of chaos? Whereas you have structure, you have discipline, you can do more things, and it's just life can be so much easier if you had more discipline in the practices that you currently carry. If you were more disciplined, maybe you wouldn't spend on these things that you really didn't need. If you were more disciplined, maybe you would second guess some of the things that you're consuming, because like I said, once I said earlier, there's a lot of self-inflicted wounds that we're currently experiencing right now, whereas things that we're hurting on our mental, physical, and financial well-being, and we can prevent it. There's definitely things, even as a person of color, there's definitely a lot of factors. Our experience is very different from any other experience in America, but there's also a lot of things that we can prevent on the back end for ourselves that we're not doing currently for ourselves. So I implore people to think about that. Physical well-being. I'm glad that Stephen came on the RFBM podcast today to talk about these things, because we don't realize how much we're hurting ourselves with the poison that we're intaking regularly within our body, and the fast food that we're consuming, or the fact that we're not as active as we should be, and I feel like all of that carries into everything that you do. There's a root cause, and instead of worrying about the factors that we can't control, even through this current climate, as a black man or a black woman in America, we need to think what we can do for ourselves as well. And physically, obviously we're all not the same, but we have some things that we are in control of that we can regulate. And I challenge all of us to be more disciplined, whether financially or whether physically.
Both. I highly recommend being both. And I know you talked about on the podcast before, we're breaking generational curses. Yes. And I really feel like our diet is another generational curse that, our generation must solve moving forward, just for a better future for our kids and our grandkids moving forward. Just eating a lot of red meat, just high, meals that are high in salt, just things that, really contribute to, by the time we're in our 40s and 50s, we're dealing with, high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease,
right.
High cholesterol and stuff like that. So, just being able to target that at a young age and, instill in those qualities. And again, being able to pass that down to your kids and your grandkids, that's really going to change the trajectory of your last name in such a positive way. Again, the last thing you want to worry about when you get to your later years of your life is, the different types of medication you want to take, being hospital ridden, whatever the case may be. You want to try to prevent that from as much as possible, from the stuff that you're able to control. Just like you mentioned, there's things that are outside of our control that we can't, we just have to deal with it as they come. But, certain stuff that we're able to prevent before it even arises, that's the most important thing. And we need to be able to focus on that.
Absolutely, Steve. It's just something that's been really weighing heavily on my mental. It's like, I feel like even during this time, of course, there's a lot of terrible things that have happened in 2020, but there's a lot of blessings and signs. Something that I was told also by my dad is everything's a learning experience. Absolutely. It's one thing he's told me. He did tell me that, and I actually take that to heart, because even during this time, if it wasn't for everything that has occurred collectively, and a lot of us are experiencing some of this after shockwaves from everything that's occurred this year, whereas it's the virus or whether it's things that are happening systematically to people of various backgrounds. Everything's a learning experience. And what opened up my mind is now I've been thinking a lot more clearly about what's good for us and what's bad for us, and what we really have control of. Once more, if it wasn't for everything that's happened right now, I probably wouldn't have went as fast to take action of creating this platform called RFBM, and also I probably wouldn't have been more dedicated to learning more and trying to expand my mind. I've been trying to learn more about real estate. I've been trying to basically build a little bit more credibility to my financial background and my entrepreneurship mindset. And I'm challenging myself more than I would have challenged myself before all of this outbreak and before all of this chaos. And I challenge everyone else also to reflect upon themselves and look at your financial state, your physical state, and instead of it appearing to you as if I'm chastising you or as if you're chastising yourself, look at it as I deserve better for myself.
Absolutely.
I deserve to treat my body better. I deserve to have better finances. I deserve to invest. I deserve
speaking life into yourself.
Exactly. Speaking life into yourself and just loving yourself and believing in yourself. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes, sometimes I think about, and within my head, you have that one side of your head that's doubting you, that might be lowering your confidence, and you need to, look within yourself and be proud of what you have achieved, but also identify what you haven't achieved and what you can do to become better. And
that's part of your growth.
That's part of your growth.
And going back to everything that you just talked about, that goes back to discipline, staying disciplined and being consistent. You got to want to change. You have to want to evolve. You have to want to get better. You have to have a thirst for knowledge. So being able to find something that you're passionate about, even if it's not something you're passionate about, but something that you feel like it'll really have a impact on others, and pursuing that takes discipline and takes consistency to be able to do that. Now that sets you up for opportunities in the future. Again, every major, catastrophic situation, there's opportunity, there's always positivity somewhere in that, in the chaos or in the mix. There's opportunities in there. And you have to be able to put yourself in a position to be able to capitalize on that. And that comes from, again, staying disciplined, staying consistent, and wanting to understand information to be able to evolve yourself, and to be able to evolve your family last name, and be able to evolve and grow with others around you.
Absolutely. What is there anything else you want to discuss as it relates to, physical wellness and controlling your finances while also managing your physical well-being?
Yeah, for sure. So again, with with all the negativity that's going on, especially throughout the world with the pandemic, COVID, everything, it's just being able to get a workout in with your family, having somebody to help encourage you, finding somebody that'll help push you along your way, so you don't feel like you're kind of alone on an island. That way you can be able to rack up more wins with your team and more wins with the people that surround you again. So you guys are all growing together. And then once you're able to establish your foundation, getting your body right, getting your mind right, then you're able to start chipping away at your finances and making sure that you're putting yourself in a position to make power moves in the future, whether it be, repairing your credit, whether it be putting some money away for a future home purchase, whatever the case may be, purchasing life insurance if you have a family, just doing something to, just progress and make financial stepping stones for later on in life, something that you're able to reap the rewards of 10, 15 years from now.
All right. So that concludes the third episode of the RFBM podcast. And once again, this is my friend Steven, from owner of Driven4Greatness. And I just really appreciate you coming on this platform once more. And I look forward to you to being on future episodes and doing other content with me. And I appreciate RFBM listeners. I appreciate everyone coming on this platform, and let's just keep on building, and let's keep on bettering ourselves, and let's take care of our physical, mental, and financial well-being. So once again, this is the RFBM podcast, and
I just want to say one thing, bro, before you let out. I just want to say one thing. I'm proud of you, bro. Like, just keep spreading this message. It's a powerful thing that everything that's being talked about on this platform. So just make sure you guys tune into them, all this new content. Stay active, stay ready, get after it every day. Love y'all, and we'll see you at the top.
All right, peace, love.
Our own mind has to be changed. We have to change our mind about ourselves.
Instead of me fulfilling my prophecy, I have to start. Instead of me, doing a good job and carrying on the empire, I have to build. And that's a hell of a job for 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? That's a hell of a job for any youngster, male or female, to have to build the empire. Because this world is such a gimme. Everybody back off. Everybody's like taught that from school.
I don't come to bow, I come to conquer.